Good morning, everybody. I am joined by the amazing Connie Solomon from Grief to Bliss with Connie, an amazing dating and relationship coach. And she is going to be talking to us today about rejoining the dating game in your 40s and above, and the fun, the good, the bad, and the ugly that involves rejoining the dating game when you are that little bit older and wiser and have had some experience. So I am so excited to have you here, Connie. Thank you so much for coming today.
Good morning. Thank you very much for having me.
I'm
How are
delighted
you
to have you.
doing?
I'm great, and it's Valentine's Day, so what an amazing day to talk about love and romance. Um, so, Connie, just to dive right in, let's just go straight for it. Can you tell us, first of all, the name of your business is From Grief to Bliss. So, will you give us a little bit of an overview as to where your name came from and what brought you back to dating in your 40s?
Yes, as you know, and few people, but not all of them, I lost my husband more than 4 years ago due to suicide. And that was the reason that I joined the dating arena in my 40s because suddenly I found myself, single, heartbroken, and wanted to find love again. And that's the name.
And it's so
From
tough
there,
because you think
the
you have
name
it all
comes.
sorted. You think you have, the husband, the kids, the future all mapped out. You could see your future. And then when that rug is pulled from under, for whatever reason, in your case, it was obviously such an extreme, horrendous experience you went through.
Yeah,
For others like me, it was through separation, and for others, we all have different kind of abuse or
breakups.
trauma or different
Yeah,
reason for breaking up and finding ourselves starting. And so often it's we are in our 40s, we're very different people than we were when we were beginning the dating scene as teenagers, aren't we?
exactly. And it's so different
Yes,
because
so
we
tell us a
used
little
to
about that.
meet. Exactly. We used to meet, in circles of friends, high school, university. It was a more organic way of meeting people, whereas now is just so different, and especially during pandemic,
Yes.
that didn't help at all. And a lot of people found themselves very lonely and not able to go out to meet anyone, not even their families or close friends. So, yeah, it was quite difficult. But my dating journey didn't end in the pandemic. It started, let's say, shortly after I lost my husband, because I was thinking that joining again a relationship and being in a relationship after a traumatic event like that is the way to go. Is It was my way of healing through a relationship, so I thought that's the right way, because I've never been good to express feelings and emotions and showing my vulnerabilities, and I had to always put a mask of a strong person. I can go through this, I can do this, I can do whatever, I can do anything.
We all
And
have those
then,
masks, don't we?
yes, we so used to wear all sorts of masks. And then because we're suppressing emotions and we're not letting them come to the surface and acknowledge them and, talk about and then let them go with love and, all of that, they come back later more
I,
powerful.
I think that's what the pandemic did for a lot of people was it forced them to look at their relationships. A lot of people, myself included, made the decision to separate during the pandemic because when you were in such close quarters with people, a lot of things came to the surface. And in normal everyday life, we have so many things that we distract ourselves with, from the kids to
True.
activities to the school runs to jobs to, friends and family. And when all of that is stripped away and you have no choice but to look at the reality,
What? Yeah.
caused a lot of people to realize that actually, do you know what, I'm really not happy with where we're at. And to kind of really examine. And for some people, that meant that they tried to heal their relationships, other knew that they were going to end them. Others, like you, decided, okay, enough is enough. I want to go out and I want to find love again. And yeah, it brought a lot of
because
reality to the surface for people, didn't it, the pandemic?
exactly, yeah, that's the reality of our times now.
Hmm.
And we are masters at distracting ourselves and putting masks and moving forward in life, ignoring what we're actually feeling, ignoring what's actually happening in our lives. And we are so good at that.
Hmm.
But we get to a point where we realize, when actually it's so obvious, that things are not going well and things are not, as they should be. And then we're confronting with feelings of, okay, what am I doing here? Why am I staying in this?
Yes.
Why am I continuing? So I'm talking now from my experience of having a relationship with a person after I lost my husband. And it wasn't really, I didn't listen to my intuition from the beginning. It wasn't really as it should have been. And then we're ignoring a lot of obvious facts. We're ignoring issues. We're ignoring, many, many different things because, oh, actually, he is a loving person. He loves me a lot. Where would I find someone to love me that much again? I have an age. I'm not young anymore. And I should make this work. And, all those fears and limitations we place on ourselves, thinking, no, because it will be the same. I can find worse. Is I can't find anyone better at this age. We
We
place
tolerate
all these
more than we should.
limiters
Yeah.
on our mind because we're actually scared. We're afraid. We're afraid to face the truth that, wait, hang on a minute. I'm worthy. I'm still young. I'm lovable. So I can find someone to be in alignment with my core values, with who I am,
Yeah,
you
don't
know?
settle. That's so common. A lot of us settled thinking that we couldn't do better.
Exactly.
Is it worth the effort? Like,
And we're lowering
what's the
our standards because
yes,
we're thinking, oh, I have this age, I'm not young anymore. I don't look as stoned as I was in my 20s. And we come with so many limiting beliefs and a baggage, and our worthiness is not, it's our self-esteem is so not to the optimum levels, let's say. So we place all these things on ourselves and thinking we're not good enough, we're not beautiful enough, we're not smart enough because we're thinking at the age and because we're thinking we can't reach what we actually want, what we actually deserve.
did you
And
find
we
yourself
stay in a situation, in relationships, in marriages, in whatever, just because we are afraid
did
of
you find
breaking.
yourself, Connie, when you've had children and stuff, you lose a lot of your identity. Did you find
Yes.
that you had to rediscover who you were when you were on this journey of the dating game?
Yes, and I had interesting experiences because not being in the right place myself, mentally, emotionally, spiritually,
Hmm.
made me choose, let's say, not the right people for me. Because I lost part of my identity when I lost my husband. Because I lost that I was grieving, and from being a wife and a mother, I became a single mother. I became a widow.
Hmm.
And I struggled with identifying myself with that as a widow. Never imagined I would be in that
Of course.
position. And it took me a while. So my joining the dating arena from a place of a hurt soul,
Hmm.
a broken soul, not not as a person that loves herself and is happy with who she sees her worth and all these kind of things. So of course I look to the first person that gave me more attention than other people. You know, it's so easy to fall in that trap of, oh, this guy is showering me with love, with attention, with blah, blah, blah. And then you realize it's not really right, because then
No,
these kind of people are so needy, so demanding, and so energy
energy vampires.
vampires. Yes. And you find yourself depleted. You don't have time to recharge, to have time for yourself. And instead of actually being happier, you actually become someone that you don't recognize.
So, what did you do as part of your journey to heal that wound, to rediscover who you were? Or is that the, or should we even say, is that the sort of work that you take your clients on now?
Yes, because I've done that work on myself.
Hmm.
So everything I talk about, or everything I guide people or help people to go through, is from my own experience. I'm not taking someone that, I don't know, they suffer from cancer, because I can't relate to that.
Hmm.
I can relate to people that are going through the same kind of experiences. So they have similar experiences, but I'm just two, three steps ahead of them. And what I've done was just, I took time. For the first time in my life, I decided that the best thing to do is just to have some time on my own, not seeing anyone, not dating. I just wanted to take that time for myself to rediscover who I am, to see, to understand why I made the choices I made after I lost my husband. Because I realized, awareness is 95% of the transformation, and of course backed up by action. So I started to rediscover and to relearn things about myself. So that was very transformative. So I did a lot of work on myself. I discovered quantum flow and the amazing community where we
Where
met.
we met, yes.
And that was so that relationship was the catalyst of my transformation. It started with the loss of my husband, and then ended with that kind of relationship where I couldn't be myself,
Hmm.
because I had to be someone else to meet certain expectations. And I realized that was wrong. I couldn't live like that. So anyway, I decided to take a break, to enjoy life, rediscover who Connie is, who she is now in her 40s, not who she was years ago, what pleases her soul, what she wants, what are her hobbies, her purpose, and all these kind of things. So, yeah, I did a lot of work. I took a lot of courses. I learned lots of new things, and quantum flow was absolutely amazing,
Oh, for me too.
because many people maybe don't understand what is that, but allows you to actually rediscover so many things, to rebuild yourself and to understand your essence,
It's
you
about
know.
really connecting to your soul, isn't it? It's that part that we don't
Exactly.
connect with on a normal daily basis. And you go deeper into parts of yourself that you didn't even know existed. It's so magical.
Exactly. I didn't know those parts existed, because maybe sometimes we look to ourselves superficially.
Yes.
We're not going deep within to understand how we are.
And it's like that we're holding so many of those emotions and those self doubts and those, that like, all those feelings that you were saying about, do I really deserve better than this crap that I'm tolerating? And it's only when you really go inwards and you release all of the layers of crap that you've been carrying. It's like we are really like onions, all those layers and layers and layers. It's not a,
Yes.
quick fix. It does
And
take,
you have like a narrative shift. You change your story,
yes,
and you start to embody your new identity, and that's when the real transformation takes place.
that's when the magic happens. So when you came back to the dating, scene after transforming your life and now coming back from a place of this is me and I really like
Yes.
who I am, because very few of us as women can look at ourselves in the mirror and go, I actually like me and I deserve better. Um,
Yeah.
but when you've done the work and you do get to that place, it's magical.
Yes.
How, when you came back to the world of dating,
Oh,
was
it
your
was,
headspace different? What was it like?
oh
Where
yes, it was
where do
much
you even
different.
begin? Is it apps? Is it phones? Is it meeting people? Where do you actually start?
You s- you started on online because after the pandemic was quite difficult to go out in like pubs or clubs or whatever, and that's not for everyone. You know, I like going to a club, excuse me, to dance and to, but I'm not going there with the intention of finding someone because you don't know you that kind of interaction to this age doesn't seem so natural as it seemed 10, 30 years ago.
No, just randomly kissing some stranger on a dance floor is no longer attractive.
Exactly. So I can't really do that. I need to have some conversations with a person to get to know that person in order to decide, okay, it's okay. Let's go out, let's meet, let's have a drink. So on the dance floor, you can't do that. You can't have meaningful, deep conversations because you're
No,
going there to dance, to have fun, not to
I love.
sit and have conversations for hours. So anyway, I joined, of course, few dating apps and Facebook dating app as well.
Oh wow, didn't know there was such a
There
thing.
are, yeah, there are singles Facebook groups, so it's easier for people to join and to interact with each other and to observe someone they like, to see how that person is, how is their personality, because you have interactions, you have games, you have conversations, you join in conversations, and so on. And that gives you, a little bit of confidence to do these things. Because on dating apps, you just, okay, someone is approaching you and they talk to you or whatever, but you don't really see the real person because
Hmm.
it's quite difficult to do that.
We were talking. I was talking to somebody else on Friday, and they were saying that like the first date is really like a job interview, where you're trying
Yes,
to tick boxes.
exactly. And it shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be like a job interview
No.
because you're not going there as to a job interview, you're not going there to show your true self because you're going there to show what they want to, what you think they want to see.
Yes.
So it's the same in the dating game. You go on the first date or you have a, conversation before that, and you say things you think they might want to hear, you know. So it's better to be your natural self
Hmm.
because that's what they see, that's what they get.
That's how I am.
And
Yes, no filter. What you see is what you
exactly.
get.
And yeah, and take it from there. So how I started last year, in the summer, I was thinking, okay, that's it. I think I'm in a much better place mentally, emotionally. I know what I want. I know exactly what I want. I know exactly who I am, what my needs are, and what I want to find in a person. Because that's very important to be clear
Hmm.
and to express that. And I started, of course, to have a lot of conversations with a lot of men because that takes time. It's like a almost full-time job to have conversations with people, to get to know people, and you'll find all sorts of individuals out there. And yeah, and I treated this like a fun game. I was thinking, yes, I am serious about this. I want to find someone, but I'm not attached to the outcome.
That's the
I'm
hardest
going
part.
I'm going out there. I'm getting to know people, having interesting conversations, having a drink, a meal, you know,
Enjoying the
to
process, not just
enjoying the
focused on the
process
outcome.
because
Mm.
you don't think to the the mistake that many people make is that they're thinking, oh, I like this man or this woman, and that this is my next partner, that's my next love, my next wife, whatever. And they have very high expectations from that person. They are going on the first date or the few 2, 3 dates with very high expectations, thinking that's their person, that's it, nothing else matters, and they found their soulmate, true love, whatever. And they put that person on a pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
And they realize during the process that is not how they expected it to be. And they feel very disappointed, very disheartened because it's not what they imagined.
Yeah, the gap
Because they
between reality
place,
and expectation is so
exactly,
huge.
they place so many expectations on these things. And it's, of course, it's not like that. Reality is very different. But if you take it with a pinch of salt, you go on dates like having fun, thinking, I get to know some people, and in this process, I may find the person. I may find someone to date, someone to be with.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't place an expectation on that at all. You are completely detached. You go with zero expectations, and then the magic happens
Tell
because
us
you
about the
don't
magic happens. Tell us about
exactly
your new man.
because you don't go there to expect anything. You just go there to meet people, to have fun. Yes, that doesn't mean not having expectation. That means you lower your standards. No, because in this process you filter. You know exactly what you want and who you want and what kind of traits and characteristics and qualities that person should have. So that's how you go with this type of mindset, and it's easy to, to be surprised.
So, were you surprised? What happened? Tell us one really, story where it didn't go right and one where it did. Just to,
Of course, I learned from my mistakes. Of
yeah.
course, I went on dates and it happened to like someone and I place expectations on that person. But that's why I'm talking from my experiences
Mhm.
because I've been through a lot of things and I know how it's, how what happens when we place expectations, what happens when we think too much ahead and
Put
so
too
on.
much pressure on ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We put the pressure, we put the expectations. We think that that's it. I'm going to get married. Joking, but you know what I mean.
I do. And there is a lot of people who do. That's their ultimate goal. And then there's
So
others who
you
just want to have
you
fun.
go there and when you find the right person, you know straight away, you feel because that person is in alignment, is on the same vibrational level as you are. And you know exactly you're talking to the right person.
So, have you
And
found your right person, Connie?
I did. I can say with my hand on heart, I did.
Because that's what
And
people want, the happy ending. We want to
of
hear that you
course,
have
we
a
all
beautiful
like
love
that.
story to, get the same for your clients. So if you were to give somebody watching this today advice for in relation to rejoining the dating game, what would your first piece of advice be? What would you tell them to do if they just did one thing today?
I think first of all, they should assess to make like a self-analysis to assess where they are
Mm-hmm.
mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and just to think what are their expectations, what they want to find,
Mm-hmm.
who they want to meet, and to stick to their belief systems because we have some beliefs
Mm-hmm.
of some sort around this kind of thing. So if their beliefs are, I'm not good enough, or I'm not lucky, I won't find love, that's impossible, it's not for me, I'm too old, I'm too this, I'm too that, they should, as much as possible, remove those beliefs.
Yeah.
They should look at that. They should work with what, because their past experiences are in the past. But to, if they expect the same outcomes, they should really look at why they're expecting to have the same outcomes and the same experiences based on their past
Because don't
relationships.
you see, I'm sure you see it in your work, I see it a lot in mine, that people end up dating the same person over and over. They
Oh,
keep
yes,
attracting the same man and then they're wondering why. And it's because they haven't, like, that had that vibrational shift. They haven't done the work. I hate that expression.
exactly.
But when you do that stuff where you clear the ghosts of relationship past and you
Exactly.
rock up
So,
as yourself, you attract better.
exactly. But for that, in order to let new things in, you need to let go of anything you come from your past. So the key is to let go in order to let in.
Exactly. Oh, I love that. Yeah.
And to do that, you have to go inwards, to do some work, to understand your patterns, to understand why you have those beliefs, why you have those patterns, why you're attracting the same things, because you're expecting the same outcome based on your past experiences.
Oh, I love
So that's where people need to look. And then, because we always expect the worst. But what if we shift that thought and expecting something good?
yes.
Just go there with an open heart, with an open mind, and expect the best thing to happen. But not to place that kind of expectation, oh, that this is amazing. No, don't be attached to any outcome, to any, you know, nothing will
Just be
happen
open.
if you expect something. Because in order to attract, you have to be like really open, really in a place of, I am good, whatever the result of this, I'm happy with who I am and how
It's
I
like
am.
knowing it's a bonus. If you find the magic man, that's bonus.
Yes,
But
yeah,
you're having fun along the way, which is what you definitely seem to have done when you were out there and enjoying the dating game, and you went out there with the expectation of having fun and
yeah,
enjoying yourself. And if you found somebody, great, but if you didn't, you had a nice night, as opposed to,
exactly. You just had a nice evening with a person,
or you
could
have a
be a
funny
nice
story.
person.
Because sometimes it
It,
is just be your man is an asshole or your woman is a brat.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
you can end up with a
But
funny story or you can end up with something else. It can lead to something else. It could be a stepping stone. Just because you don't find love on date one doesn't mean you give up.
no, no, because you won't find it with the first person you're dating. Maybe even with the fifth or tenth, whatever. You just don't have a number, or you don't have, you don't have this kind of things in your mind.
Oh,
But anyway, your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. If you're happy inside, and if you are content, and you go there and you express that, your energy is all around you, and that type of energy will attract the right type of people that will be attracted to this kind of energy. So that happened in my case, because I went there with, very light, open heart, open mind, to have fun, and in this process of having fun, to find my person.
I love it. I love that you found your person. You deserve it. You've gone through so much, Connie.
Thank
I really
you.
loved talking with you this morning. We kind of agreed we wouldn't go too long and bore people. So I want to just finish up with you telling us how people can work with you and where can they find you? Are you on Instagram, Facebook? What kind of programs that
Yes, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I have a website, and I'll start to uh, put more content out there for people to understand what I'm doing exactly. Because I call myself a dating and relationship coach, but that's the ultimate goal, you know. But before that is about working on yourself, is about healing, is about understanding your childhood dynamics, because we're coming with a lot of things from our childhood, to understand what traumas, if there was any trauma in the past, and how that affected each person, because each individual is unique and they have their unique experiences. So yeah, it's a lot of work to do on that side. And then when you change yourself, everything around you changes.
Yes,
And of course, then you attract the good things. And then of course you can have better relationships with all around you, and you can find the right person which is
it's
in
like
alignment
you have
with
better.
your
It's really like you're building the relationship with yourself first and dating yourself
exactly,
first before
which
you go anywhere
starts with
else.
self-love. And by the way of that, we work together on that side.
We do.
So
And
yeah,
I love that side of it. I love when you learn and you can see somebody and you'll see it with you obviously with the people you work with as well. You see it when people start to blossom within themselves and they grow confidence and they kind of go, actually, I'm actually
when
good. I'm a nice person. I like myself. I can look at myself in the mirror and
exactly.
go, yeah,
And when you
whatever.
love and accept yourself for who you are, as you are, of course, each one of us is a piece of art and work in progress in the same time.
Yes.
And when we understand this, then everything it just flows naturally.
It's so beautiful. It's been so lovely to talk to you, Connie. I think you're going to help so many people, and I'm so excited watching your journey and seeing how you're changing and growing. And I'm so happy for you to have found your person and everything you've
Yes,
shared with
I found my person, and
us.
my
It's
person
beautiful.
is the definition of kindness, of love, of calm and peace. Harmony is just, it's so natural and so right, and everything is just
It's
perfect.
amazing when you find the right person, and it is effortless just to be around
Yes,
them. I always say
exactly.
that
You
at the
don't
beginning
have
as well.
to,
It's like it's just flows, and it just feels so natural to be with them, and it's just
exactly. You don't have to wear masks.
there's no
You
drama.
don't have to pretend.
I know.
You can be yourself, basically.
That's it. And I suppose that's what so many, it's like what you said at the beginning about the masks. Like when you can actually shed all your mask and just stand and, metaphorically stand naked in front of somebody and go, this is me, warts and all. Yes, I come with baggage, or yes, I've had this or that or the other. And yes, I am not, my 20-year-old self or everything is as it once was because I've had children and everything since then. But it is like love and accept me, and it's fabulous and it's exciting, and that's to send that ripple of love through the work that you're doing out to other men, to women, to help them love themselves so they can find their person is just such magical work. I'm so delighted for you. You deserve
Oh,
all the
thank
love in the world, and I look
Of
forward
course,
to more of you.
it's a lot more to talk about it, but we can do this on different occasions, on
Yes,
another occasion to share more on tips and things, how people can become more confident and how can overcome the stress of going out there.
because it's nerve wracking rejoining
Yes.
it again. So yes, we will definitely do more of these conversations. So we will share on social media. Hopefully, eventually, we might get Instagram to work for me, but no promises. But thank you
Okay.
so much. Have a lovely Valentine's Day. Sending
Thank you, you
you and
too.
your family lots of love, and we'll chat soon.
Thank you, you too. Take care.